Members, the next item we intend to take up is House Bill 3073. It is on page 4. It's not eligible until 2:40 p.m. today. It's the chair's intention to take it up at this time. Any objection? Chair hears none. The chair recognizes Ms. Howard.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I call up House Bill 3073 with Senate amendments.
The chair lays out House Bill 3073 with Senate amendments and recognizes Ms. Howard to explain the Senate amendments.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I'm going to just take a couple of minutes here. I'm sorry, but this is really important, and I'm so proud of this body and what we've done. House Bill 3073, also known as the Summer-Willis Act, represents a new era in Texas. For too long, Texas survivors have been told by law enforcement that even though they believed them, they could not proceed to trial because the state's laws did not reflect their experience or reality. But no longer. The Senate clarified that a sexual assault is without consent if the person did not consent and the actor knows they are unconscious or physically unable to resist. The Senate also cleaned up language to clarify that sex is without consent if the other person has not consented and the actors know the other person is unaware that the assault is occurring, or if the person is intoxicated or impaired by any substance to the extent that the person is incapable of consenting. This is truly a remarkable moment. For too long, our state's laws did not provide a clear definition of how consent was to be communicated or understood, which has led to low prosecution rates for these heinous sexual assault cases and has allowed sexual perpetrators to avoid prosecution. For the last couple of sessions, I've worked with many of you in here to get this piece of legislation across the finish line. So after today, prosecutors will have the tools they need to put rapists behind bars. And after today, our laws will finally reflect the reality of Texas survivors. I'm proud to move that the House concur with Senate amendments. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is the final recommendation of the Sexual Assault Survivors Task Force and will give law enforcement the tools they need to hold rapists accountable and keep our communities safe. I'm proud to move final passage of the Summer-Willis Act.
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Wu, for what purpose?
Would the lady yield for questions?
Lady yield for questions. Lady yields.
Representative Howard, how many years have you worked on this?
I'm 3 or 4 sessions.
And 3 or 4
Not years.
This is something that other states have already passed, correct?
Some have, yes.
And this is something that is a real significant change in the law that will provide not just women, but men and women with protections that have been demanded for quite some time.
Absolutely. The last statistics we have are that only about 9% of those who have been assaulted actually report the crime, and then of those, only about 3% are ever prosecuted. And no wonder people don't report.
The old law, the way it was written before this bill, was partly to blame for that.
Absolutely. The prosecutors did not have the tools they needed to ensure that they could go after these rapists and put them behind bars.
Well, Representative Howard, I really hope that everyone votes concur and that the governor will immediately sign this bill. And I want to thank you and all the other people, all the other members who have spent countless hours working on this legislation. I think you should all be commended for this great work.
Thank you, Chairman Wu. There are so many people I want to thank, but I do in particular want to thank Senator Paxton for her work to help us on the Senate side, and the governor's office and the Sexual Assault Survivors Task Force for their work. Thank you, members. I move passage.
Ms. Howard moves that the House concur with Senate amendments to House Bill 3073. This is a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. Show Ms. Howard voting aye. Show Mr. Gerdes voting aye. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? There being 135 ayes, 2 nays, the House concurs with Senate amendments to House Bill 3073.